guys, welcome back to my SMR channel, and today I thought we'd do some more PS3 Collection stuff. Yeah, you guys seem to be liking the video game collection stuff. I still have tons of Blu-rays to go over, but I guess we could save that for a later date. Anyway, I thought I'd tap a little bit here to begin. Tap that, you know what I'm saying? Tap that one. Yeah, thank you guys for subscribing and leaving the likes and comments. I do read them all eventually, so yeah, let's just get into the collection. I got some games here, and the first one is LittleBigPlanet, Game of the Year edition. I played this game when it first came out, and then I rebought it when the Grace Hits came out. So worth it. It just essentially, it was Mario Maker before Mario Maker. You know, you create your 2D levels, and you put stickers and stuff, you customize it, and you play people's created levels and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Great game. Rated for everyone. Media Molecule made this game, and I still get chills every time I hear the opening song for this LittleBigPlanet. And I think you all know the song I'm talking about if you played this game. But yeah, that's LittleBigPlanet. Next one I got is a very relaxing game. So, you know, if you're into ASMR, which you are since you're watching this video, I recommend Journey. If you haven't played it already, this is the collector's edition. This came with Flow and Flower, and of course Journey. This is one of the greatest games I've ever played in my life, honestly. I say that about a lot of games, but like this one really impacted me. It's about 2 hours long, and you know, I was just floored by it. You know, I was able to tell a complete narrative with no voice acting, no text, and you got what the story was. And Journey has this amazing multiplayer feature where it just gives you a random person that's also playing the same part of the game you're playing, right? And you both just continue the journey with each other, and you could go through the whole game with, you know, with one person, or, you know, they'll drop out and somebody else will pop in and you won't even know. But yeah, you'll go through the whole game with some rando online, and there'll be no way to communicate with each other than bleeps and boops, you know. And I don't know, I was just floored by this game. This company, this game company also made a game called Abzu, which is also another very relaxing game. It's a very trippy game. You know, about the ocean. This game, though, Journey, is about life and death, you know, the journey to death and stuff like that. And reincarnation. You know, when you die, you just come back to the beginning of life, right? You know, a lot of people say maybe the white light at the end of the tunnel is you coming out of the womb. I like to think that. But yeah, Journey. Also, Flow and Flower, this is what Flow is. It's a game about, you know, small organisms, and you eat the small organisms, and you keep going down and down, deeper into the ocean. You know, I'm not quite sure what Flow is really about, but it's a very relaxing game nonetheless. And then you also have Flower, which is, you know, an environmental game where you play a little flower petal, and you have to collect the other flower petals. And I remember playing that game it's the same thing with Journey. There's this certain, like, if games could be a poem, like, they would be Flower and Journey, It really feels like a tone poem, I like the disc jiggle. I don't know if anybody else likes the disc jiggle, but I like the disc jiggle. Okay, so that's Journey. Oh, yes. Next game on the list is Infamous 2, only on PlayStation. This was made by Sucker Punch. You get the early access to the Uncharted 3 multiplayer, so it's, that's not out of date at all. The beast is coming, prepare. I personally think this is the best Infamous game, and, I know Second Son looks better, and it might play a little better, but I enjoyed the story in this one a lot. I enjoyed the setting. It's in New Orleans. New Orleans is the setting, which is unique, Usually New Orleans doesn't get to, be in games, It's usually just like New York City, or like Paris, giant cities. But it was nice to get a smaller city in a game. And it's a continuation from the first game too, which, was groundbreaking when it first came out. It was like a superhero game before other superhero games got popular. And very much comic book influenced and superhero influenced. Giant open world. You get electrical powers and stuff like that. You can grind on city, the power lines and stuff. You can glide. And it's basically a third-person shooter because you shoot lightning bolts at everybody. But the big thing about Infamous is that you get to decide if you want to be a good guy or a bad guy. That's your big, cross to bear in the series. Are you going to be good or are you going to be evil? They have different endings for each one, so it kind of adds the replay value because you want to go through the game and play it on evil if you did it on good already, That's what I usually did. But yeah, Infamous 2, my favorite from the series. And here's Infamous 1. This came out pretty early on in the PlayStation's life cycle. You can tell by the old PlayStation font. But yeah, I've platinumed both these Infamous games, and that requires that you have to play the game twice. You have to play it on good and you have to play it on evil. And I don't know with that. This one is, takes place in a fictional city. And it's a pretty big city. For the time, this game was very groundbreaking. Just, the big open world and, the superhero aesthetic of it. And, it's probably dated by today's standards. It's one of those games that really needs a remake or, some kind of remaster just to fix the sluggish controls and stuff like that. But for the time, it was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. It's one of the best games on PlayStation. I love the comic book aesthetic of the game. I love that you get to make your choices of being good or bad. But usually what I did is that I just was like all good or I was all bad. I didn't like mixing them up, because I wanted to see how the story would play out if I was just bad the whole time, as opposed to like all good the whole time. And it's pretty cool. You do get a different trajectory of the story. Sucker Punch. Oh. Now, Sucker Punch will go on to make Ghost of Tsushima. That's their new franchise right now, so, I hope one day they do go back and make an Infamous game and they continue with Cole McGrath and we find out, what happened. see Starhawk. See right there. And this is why it's cool, because you get it. Hold on. I do this right. Here's the cover, and then you flip it, and you get more on the back. You get like a little comic strip on the back. I thought it was really cool. But this game was a spiritual successor to Warhawk, which was an early launch title for the PS3. And this game was fun. It looked good. It played good. But there wasn't a lot of people that supported the online functionality, so it never took off. So it kind of came and went real quick. It died on arrival, I guess you could say. So I never really played that much. I probably played like a grand total of like 10 hours of this game. You know? Probably like grand total of 10 hours. So, you know, unfortunate for the studio that made this game. For sure. Very unfortunate for them. Because, you know, Warhawk was one of those games that slowly became a hit over time. And I feel like the same thing would have happened with this game if, you know, people, you know, gave it a chance or they kept supporting the game after launch. I feel like it eventually could have became something. But it didn't. Yeah. Starhawk. I don't even know if you can find this game anymore. Like if you go on the PlayStation Store, I don't even know if it's there. But yeah. Alright, now we're really going back in the time capsule here. We got a PlayStation Move game. Sports Champions. Probably one of the better Move games. You know, it's just like the Wii Sports. Almost exactly like it. Of course, you probably know by now, I already have a PlayStation VR. But before that, I got a PlayStation Move controllers. And, you know, it was at the time where, like, Wii was, like, a big console and stuff, and I just did not want to get a Wii, so I was like, alright, I'll just get the PlayStation Move. And, honestly, the Move controllers are amazing. Like, they're really one-to-one. They were far more advanced than the Wii controllers, without a shadow of a doubt, you know. But once again, you know, if you don't have people buying your product to support it, it's not gonna get the software support, which, you know, the software is the games. It's not gonna get that support. So there weren't a lot of Move games. And to Sony's credit, they brought back the Move controllers with the PlayStation VR, and it works very, very well. Pretty genius of them to recycle old hardware and use it with the new hardware, because these controllers are very good. And this game was actually very good, the Sports Champions. Everything worked really well. You know, the archery stuff was fun, the tennis and volleyball stuff was fun, the ping pong table, I mean. It just felt good, it felt natural. But this is the Move game that I was waiting for to play, you know, for the longest time. When they announced it, I'm like, oh my god, we get to be a wizard, and I can use my Move controller as a wizard, you know. And, you know, it's a cool game. Not much to it, you know, you just flick your wrist. But it was cool. Like, as I was playing this game, I'm like, why don't they do this for Harry Potter, you know? Just total, like, missed opportunity, right? For the Harry Potter franchise. Sorcery. Yeah, sorcery. Very cool looking game. Art style's cool. This is one of those other games that you probably will never play because it is just a PlayStation Move game. this is another PlayStation Move game, but it's technically not, because this is the Sly Collection remastered in HD. All three of the original Sly games, the Thievius Raccoonus, Band of Thieves, and Honor Among Thieves, which it's funny that they call this game Honor Among Thieves because Uncharted 2 is called Among Thieves, so a lot of people like to think it's a clear callback to this game. I mean, it's not a coincidence. But yeah, as you see, it's compatible with the Move controller, but you don't need it at all. The Move controller is kind of an afterthought with this game, because the main purpose was to get these old games remastered in HD and working right, and they are good. I played all three. I platinumed all of them. I'm a big trophy hunter too, so I love these games. These are great games. Very chill games too. Like, it's like one hit and enemies die, or you get hit like once or twice and you'll die. So it's very like you have to sneak around, you have to stay above the enemies, you have to get them from behind. It is like a one hit and done type thing, which I appreciate a lot. You know what I'm saying? It means you have to be careful with your movements and your jumps, and you got to plan out what order of dudes you're gonna take them out. And I had a lot of fun like collecting all the bottles in each level and stuff like that. And it got me prepared to play the fourth Sly game, which I downloaded on my PS3 when that eventually came out. Yeah, I mean, good games, really good games. And this is also, I believe, Sucker Punch, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure this is Sucker Punch. Yep, Sucker Punch. So I feel like Sucker Punch is a very underrated studio. They had these great Sly games, and then they had the Infamous series, which was amazing, and then they made Ghost of Tsushima. So yeah, very, very good studio, if I do say so myself. I highly recommend the Cooper. You get your hands on this collection, go for it. I'm sure they'll make another remaster one day, and they'll make another collection like this. I remember, back in the day, people would complain about these collections, like, oh, they're just repackaging the same games, but like, if you never played it, a collection is the best thing to get. It gets all the games that you missed together, so what's the problem, this is a great way for a new generation of people to play the game, that never got to play it originally. Sly Cooper. I enjoy it. It's a fun, relaxing game. You don't have to stress too much when you're playing it. Oh, now here's a little series that goes back a ways, but I first started playing on PS3, and that is Red Faction. And this is a Red Faction Guerrilla. Early on in the PlayStation life cycle, there wasn't tons of games, but the few games that there were coming to the systems were just fantastic. And this is one of those games. It's a game that you can get lost in by just blowing up everything. It has I forget what they call it, destruction something. It might be on the back here. But it's essentially the entire environment. Everything in the environment, all the buildings are destructible. If you see a building, you can level it, which is awesome. And it takes place on Mars. So you're like taking out, you're like fighting against this corporation and stuff. Like guerrilla faction fighting against a bigger corporation, taking out their mining facilities and stuff like that. Lots of fun. I don't really care much for the narrative in these games. I really care more about like destroying buildings and stuff, which is like the coolest thing in the world. It's why, like, the early Battlefield games, like Battlefield Bad Company, I loved because you could just take out the whole environment if you wanted to. You can't hide in a building because we could bring it down. I like that. And this game was made by Volition. I can barely see the text. I thought it was made by Visceral, but I don't think Visceral made this. I just think I saw the V. I'm like, Visceral? No, it's not that. THQ did publish it. THQ was a big publisher back in the day. Not so much anymore. They kind of went under. And, yeah. It's such an old game. I don't know what it's like. I haven't gone back to play this game in a decade, so I don't know if it holds up at all. It probably doesn't. And the sequel that came out, a few years later, was a huge missed opportunity. That this sequel, Red Faction Armageddon, this should have came out probably the year after Red Faction Guerrilla came out. They just took way too long to make this game. You see the tagline: "There is life on Mars. There's aliens in this game you have to kill." Yes, and they're on Mars, which was like a huge, like, what, when you first play it. But yeah, I thought, I don't think I finished this game. I can't remember, like, the ending or whatever. But I just remember liking Red Faction Guerrilla more, This one did play better, though. It felt better to play, for sure. Because it was newer, so I guess. But yeah. But if you're interested in Red Faction, this series actually goes back beyond these games. But if you want a taste of it, I recommend Red Faction Guerrilla. And if you want more of that, go ahead and get Armageddon. Okay. Oh, really going back in the time capsule now. This game is has a special place in my heart. I'll never forget playing this game for the first time. And as Unreal Tournament. This game was mind-blowing. It sucks. As you see the tag, it's yellow. This is how old this is. Back in the day, GameStop would put the stickers on the actual paper. They would like take the paper out of the case and put the sticker on it and then put it back in the case. GameStop has done some weird things. I think they were called EB Games when they were doing that. So way back in the day. But this is essentially just a multiplayer shooter in arenas. You pick up weapons, you go around killing people. And it's essentially an Unreal tech demo, kinda, but it's a full-size game. As you see, the character models are a lot like Gears of War. And it's like Gears of War and Halo had a baby. It would be Unreal Tournament. I'll never forget playing this game for the first time on PC. Back in grade school. Just mind blown, man. How much fun me and my friends would have playing this, like, all day, every day. It was just this hook that you just kept going. Just kept wanting to shoot. It felt so good, so fluid. If you played the new Doom games, if you've played the new Doom games, then you know exactly how this game feels, because that's exactly what it was. Like, it felt that fluid. Now, I haven't played this game in years, so maybe my memory is remembering it more fonder than what it was. But I just remember the controls being so smooth. And just like jumping around the maps and just picking up rocket launchers and shooting people out midair, like it was a lot of fun. Epic Games made this too. Whatever happened to Unreal Tournament? I'm sad they never made more of these. They should have. They should have made more Unreal Tournaments. It's unreal that they haven't made Unreal in a minute. Of course, everybody knows the Unreal Engine. That's what most of your video games today are built on. I think they're using Unreal Engine 5 right now. Or is it 4? It's either 4 or 5 right now. Yeah, Unreal Tournament. Was it Unreal Tournament 3? Marks the return of the world's premier first-person shooter, taking graphics, gameplay, and challenge to a whole new level. But yeah, I guess you could say it really was just a tech demo for the engine. But it was so much fun. Hours and hours lost in that game. Alright. I think it's time to get into the big daddies. The big daddies here, and that is the Uncharted games. The original copies that I first got, and this is the first game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I did not play this game until I got Uncharted 2. That's the case with a lot of people. A lot of people, their first Uncharted game is Uncharted 2. And then you find out, oh wait, yeah, there's a first game that nobody played. And that's this one. Now, if I remember correctly, this was one of those launch titles that didn't sell well because, of course, the PS3 didn't sell well, But people soon found this game after playing Uncharted 2. That was the case for most people, like me, and yeah, I love this game. Great game. I love the Uncharted series. It mixes, storytelling and characters with gameplay and graphics. Like, it's the upper echelon of games, right? It's the pinnacle of what games can be. A cross between entertainment and action and fun, all the same thing. That's why I feel like video games can be better than movies. The potential of video games is higher than movies because it's interactive. You decide the pace that you're going to go through the game, And it has much more potential for you to get sucked into the game, right? Uncharted Drake's Fortune. If you haven't played this game, it takes place on an island. You're trying to find El Diablo, but really you're trying to get off the island for the most part, right? And I like that, just like finding El Diablo just happens, right? But your main goal is trying to get the hell off the island because there's tons of people trying to kill you. And that's what Elena is trying to tell Nathan Drake in the game because he's obsessed with finding like El Diablo, and she's like, you're gonna die if you stay here. We gotta find a way out of here. And that's a theme that goes across all the Uncharted games, is that, why is Nathan Drake risking his life like this, I feel like that's a really deep theme that you don't get in the Tomb Raider games. You don't get that with Indiana Jones. You only get that with Nathan Drake because he's obviously like really smart. He's capable. He can do anything he wants. And he wants to keep risking his life looking for lost treasures. But yeah, this game does not look as good as Uncharted 2. That's a given because it came out before Uncharted 2. But still, I feel like it holds up. It plays good. Sorry, there's a motorcycle that keeps coming by the house for some reason. And yeah, anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, Uncharted. I'd be shocked if you haven't played the Uncharted games, man. You gotta play those. and Sony gave them the ability to make the Last of Us game series, which is one of my favorites of all time too. And if it wasn't for the success of this game, you probably don't get many more Naughty Dog games. That's how crucial this one was. That's how crucial this game was. And I think we all remember the opening train segment where you have to climb up the train. Just a brilliant way to start a game. Halfway through the story, and then you got a flashback to the beginning part of the game. That's just brilliant. That is just brilliant, honestly. And that's kind of like how I like stories being told. I like to, pop in like halfway through the narrative or near the end, and then get told what happened at the beginning. I like that. I like that narrative hook. So many funny moments in this game too. The sky above you, the sky above you, the sky below you, the sky below you. As you pull the guy off the ledge. That was a funny moment, I always remember. And Flynn, because your companion character at the beginning, his name is Flynn. So Nathan Drake goes, hey, we're in Flynn, get it? And the guy goes, no, I don't get it. He's like, in Flynn, just give me a boost. That's pretty funny. Nolan North is the voice of Nathan Drake, and he's the voice of my childhood, really. So many video games, I heard Nolan North's voice. So many. I owe a lot of my childhood to that one man and his voice, really. Oh, sorry. I keep hitting the screen. Uncharted. Now, most people will say this is their favorite Uncharted, and it's not mine. I still love it though. I love it. Just like how I love Drake's Fortune. I love Among Thieves. And for the longest time, Uncharted 3 was my favorite Uncharted. And then Uncharted 4 came out, and I adore that game so much. I really gotta get back and play Uncharted 4 and play through that game again. Anyway, Uncharted, man. I highly recommend it. As if you don't know what the series is, right? Okay, here's a steelbook. This is the collector's edition. It's gonna be a lot of glare here. Let's see if we can. You can see the camera. You see my forehead. Oh, yeah. This is a steelbook collector's edition of Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. I got the collector's edition. It came with Nathan Drake's Reign, which was really cool. And it also came with this belt buckle, which, you can use both of them. They were actual metal, too, which is pretty cool. That's what you get on the back. Oh, we can open this without making too much noise. Oh. But yeah, get the inside, Drake's Deception. And there's an ad for Starhawk. So 2012, yeah. That was a big year for gaming. And you see, get the inside. I think I'd be real quiet with this stuff. And there's Nathan Drake shooting from behind cover. It is a cover-based shooter. This was honestly, this was my favorite Uncharted for a long time, because it was about Ram of the Pillars. There was a lot of Lawrence of Arabia name drops, and stuff like that. And I'm a big Lawrence of Arabia fan. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. T.E. Lawrence. There's a bunch of references to him in this game, and drinks, deception. Drinks, deception. Drinks, deception. Sic parvis magna is what is said on the ring. Okay, so we got a few more games here. And you might recognize this one. It's Dynasty Warriors. I told you I was a big Dynasty Warriors fan. This is the game that really started my love for it, though. Dynasty Warriors 6. This is when I discovered the series. And 1,000 men, one true warrior. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. You get to pick like, one warrior, and you'll go into these, or I guess they're called arenas or whatever, but levels. And there'll be thousands and thousands of enemy soldiers. You just gotta mow through, and you'll just swipe and swipe and swipe, and you'll be knocking out like dozens at a time. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I had a buddy that was really big into these Japanese games, and he recommended Dynasty Warriors to me, and I'm glad he did, because I had a lot of fun with it. Of course, like the narrative, I didn't really care for. Like I didn't even really know what was going on in the narrative. I could care less, honestly. But the action, was well worth it. It was well worth it for this game. And you kind of make up your own narrative in your head, when you're playing it. If you have an active imagination, right? Okay. Get my guitar pick here. Alright, here's one that is a pretty, a series that came and went. It might make a comeback one day. Dead Rising. This was one of those franchises that I was like super jealous that Xbox, had Dead Rising and PlayStation didn't have Dead Rising. So the second Dead Rising 2 was like available on PlayStation. I got it instantly. They did. I think the spine is like the worst part. It's just like a regular font. What were they thinking? But it's essentially just a bigger version of the first game. The first game takes place in a mall. It's very reminiscent of the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead movie. And this one, there's like a 72 hours window in the game. It's not like a real 72 hours though. It's kind of like, it's like a chapter thing. That would be interesting though if they made a game that it just had a timer and it was constantly ticking down and there was no way to stop it. Like that would be a very interesting game. But yeah, you kill zombies, you make weapons, you kill zombies, you have fun killing zombies, Not much to it. They try to add a little narrative to this one. You have to like get a cure to save your daughter, I think. But we play these games to kill the zombies, alright? That's why we play these. But yeah. I don't even remember if I finished it or not. I just remember like hacking up zombies and stuff. Alright, now I got 2 games left here. One of them is an all-time classic. The other one is pretty much regarded as the worst thing to happen to gaming ever. So let's save the classic one. Let's save the best one for last, right? Yeah, let's save the best one for last. And there's a plane flying over now. Let's give that a second. Alright, so let's talk about the worst game to happen to gaming, and that is Duke Nukem Forever. Now, obviously, I kid a lot, I joke around a lot. This game is not the worst thing ever to happen to gaming, but, I mean, if you went off people's reviews and people's reaction to this game, you would assume this is like the worst game of all time. And it's like, it's a mockery to cancer if you play this game or something, but it's really not that bad at all. Duke Nukem Forever, it is a mess. This game took over 10 years to be made, to be finally released. It went through a bunch of different production companies, a bunch of different game developers, and the final product is just a mismatch of all these different ideas they had while making the game, really. But as far as the shooting goes, it's fine. It plays. It's not like it's completely broken. Now, when it first came out, it was pretty broken when it first came out. No lie, for sure. But with updates and stuff, you can play the game. I think there's still some game-breaking bugs with the game. Like, if you get stuck, you can get stuck on a turret in the beginning chapters, and you'll just be stuck on it. You won't be able to get off of it. And if that happens, you have to uninstall your game and reinstall it. But I beat this game. I got through that part. I got all the way through it. I beat the whole game. And I thought it was hilarious. I thought there was a lot of funny parts in it. Of course, people today are very sensitive about their humor, right? They're very fragile about what kind of humor they want to hear. And Duke Nukem is essentially a parody of action heroes. He's a super macho dude that treats, women very, like objects, and he's like the dumbest person on the planet, all he can say is get some, or, shake that ass, baby. Like, that's what Duke Nukem does, that's who he is. He's gotta save the chicks. Every game is about him killing the aliens that are abducting our chicks. That's the narrative. That's always been the narrative ever since the original games. And it leads to a lot of comedy, a lot of parody of action movies. And you play the games because the actual controls and the shooting is good. And it could have been better in this game. It really could have been better in this game. They did just rush this game out because it was taking way too long, and it was in development hell forever. So just finish it and put it out there. Who cares? A lot of people cared. A lot of people really turned on this game. But if you're looking for a single player shooter that you don't have to think about, that might give you some chuckles. Duke Nukem Forever, it gave me some chuckles. And it's not that long. I think it's like 10 hours or less, But yeah, that game got tons of hate, and I can understand why. It was a really glitchy experience when it first came out. There's a lot of things that were broken about it, but I really wish they would try again and make another Duke Nukem and make it right this time. But anyway, let's end this baby on one of the most important games of all time. It's definitely in my top 10, top 5 favorite games of all time. Most influential. And that's Fallout 3. Dun dun dun. Boom 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 boom. Dun dun. Fallout 3. Love this game. Liam Neeson's in this game. I know, they got Liam Neeson. I don't know how they got him to be in this game, but they did. If you've played Fallout 4 and you never played Fallout 3, may God have mercy on your soul. That's all I'll say. May God have mercy on your soul. This is the Greatest Hits edition, obviously. I had the Game of the Year edition. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, I don't know what happened to that edition. I must have traded it back or something. But yeah, Fallout 3. What can I say that has been said about Fallout 3? It's like one of the most influential games of all time. Giant open world. The moment where you step out of the vault and you see, Washington D.C. utterly destroyed by nuclear fallout, and you just see the world like, wait a minute, I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere in this game. And it's so daunting. It's so daunting that, the first time I played this game, like I was in middle school, I think. And, I think it was 2008 this game came out. And, I remember getting stuck, like walking out the vault, and like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? Like, I was so confused. And I ended up going in like the complete opposite direction that you're supposed to go. And I just got murked. I died like really easily by some enemies. And I had to restart the game. I'm like, wait a minute, I must have missed something. And I did. There's a lot of like subtle things the game does. Like characters will be like, oh, go to Megaton. Or you'll read a note that says, oh, your dad is in Megaton or something like that. So now you gotta go find Megaton. You gotta go look for signs. You gotta look at your map. You gotta see like where it's at. And then you gotta figure out how to get there. And that's what I love about this game. It gives you the destination, and it's just up to you how to get there. Now, once you get there, you can always fast travel there, but you have to get there once. You have to walk to every location at least once. And I love that. And the setting and the 50s music, and like how like all of the universe, like Earth was just like stopped in the 50s. We didn't like advance culturally past then, but we got like nuclear, power plants and bombs and stuff like that, but we just never culturally, went past the 50s. I love that aspect of the game. It's one of the things that drew me in about it. I love it way more than games like Skyrim, because, those games where, it's fantastic, dragons, medieval, I'm just not into it, this game was more my speed, something with guns, lasers, plasma, a future, a pseudos 50 future, it was up my alley. The radio was so addicting to listen to. I love everything about it. The art style, and obviously the thing that doesn't really hold up about this game is the shooting. It's very dated. It's very basic because they don't want you to shoot in real time. I think that's something a lot of people misunderstand about this Fallout game specifically, and the Fallout games in general. It's supposed to be turn-based with the action. That's why you have the VAT system, and you click R2, and you go and you stop the game and you select what part of the enemy you want to shoot at, and then you shoot. That's how it's supposed to be played. That's why you don't aim down your sights in this game. That's why they didn't put that in this game, because, it's not like aiming down your sights was a new thing when they were making this game. Like, lots of games were doing that. That's been like a thing with gaming forever, to aim down the sights of the gun, but they intentionally didn't put that in this game because that's not what Fallout is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a role-playing, action-adventure, turn-based game, At least that's what the earlier games are. Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, those are turn-based games. And you'll notice about the series, as we progress with the Fallout series, they put less and less emphasis on the VAT system and stopping time and picking where you want to shoot people, and they put more emphasis on, real-time shooting, aiming down your sights, and the shooting does get better as the games go. But yeah, I think that's something a lot of people misinterpret about this Fallout 3, is that you have to use the VATs. It's there for a reason. It's how the gameplay is supposed to work, But yeah, absolutely adore this game, loved it. I remember exploring every inch of this game, every single inch of this game. Just mind-blowing. It took me years to finally see everything that was in this game. Years. Like, no joke, man. No joke. But anyway, that's Fallout 3. Game of the Year edition. I don't know if we want to look into, see the big Fallout guide. Look at that. yourself a favor. I mean, if you love video games and you've never played Fallout 3, man, like, do yourself a favor, play it. It's an experience everyone has to experience. But anyway, not so much Duke Nukem Forever. You don't have to experience that game. But Fallout 3, you definitely have to. Even with all its dated graphics and gameplay, everybody must experience that game. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for joining. I think that was 18 more PS3 games we got. We got loads more to do with that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go to sleep. If you're really watching this to the end, go to sleep. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway. I don't know what my next video is going to be. You know, I try to do this every other day, but sometimes I don't have time. It's not quite enough to do it, you know, and excuses, I know. But I'll upload when I can, and I appreciate everybody that subscribes and leaves comments and likes and stuff like that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Good night. San Jose. San Jose. San Jose. San Jose. San Jose. San Jose. San Jose.